Is America great again yet? Healthcare is getting cut, the rich will get richer, the poor will be more poor, millions will lose food stamps, ICE will continue to attack Hispanics and Haitians, alligator Alcatraz, crime is at an all-time high, drug usage is at an all-time high, the economy is trash, groceries are high as hell, rent is high as hell, there are no jobs. Happy 4th of July. Make America great again. What a joke.
Good morning and happy Friday, guys. So we're going to have a quick conversation, a quick recap of how America is great. Okay, guys, stick with me because I got some exciting news. All right, so the first thing, guys, the revised job numbers that were created in August went from 54,000 to negative 3,000. America's great again. Okay, Google searches for bankruptcy lawyers is the highest it's ever been. America's great again, guys. America's great. Hold on. I got more. So, Google searches for help with mortgages has the highest searches since the Great Recession. America's getting great again, guys. America is great under President Trump. Listen, we got more. Grocery prices currently at this point in time are the highest they've ever been in 2025. Good job, President Taco. I'd love to know, guys, what do you think, especially my right, my MAGA, Latinos for Trump, Trumpies. Like, I want to know what they're going to say to justify these, because these are all facts. Like, these are facts that you could actually go and research. So, like, is America great yet, guys? Is it great? Because I'm hoping that means that it's great yet. Anyway, guys, that's where we're at. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Share the video so everyone knows that America is great again. Anyway, I love you guys. Please be safe.
All right, I'm going to explain Trump's tariffs to all you Democrats that can't seem to get your head around things like the economy. So Trump put a 20% tariff on all European goods. So if I'm buying something from France for, say, $100, let's keep the math real simple. Simple math, just like Simple Jack likes it, right? 20% tariff, that's $20. That means France has got to pay that $20, which means I get a $20 discount. So instead of spending $100, I'm only spending $80. See, it's a win-win. Me and every other American gets a discount when we're buying stuff from other countries, and the other countries have to pay extra money, which brings down our deficit and has raised billions of dollars already. You know, the reason I understand this is because my head has been so far up Donald Trump's backside the last 10 years that my brain has dysentery and I can barely function.
So it finally happened, okay? What y'all wanted all along, what y'all voted for, the whole Make America Great Again thing, yeah. It finally happened. Y'all got what you wanted. Y'all are ruining people's lives. People who have kids that depend on them to provide. Okay? My cash assistance got dropped down significantly. Okay? So now I have to wonder how I'm going to make ends meet next month. Okay? I'm good this month. But next month, my benefits are getting reduced. Okay? That's not including the free money that I get to drive myself to where I need to go, okay? I used to get $400 in transportation money, and now I'm only going to be getting $100, okay? So I'm not going to be able to go and get my nails done like I do each month. I'm not going to be able to go on dates like I choose to do each month, okay? I have 7 kids that I have to provide for. I deserve to do self-care. Now I can't do those things.
So what are the numbers? How many immigrants has these mass deportations removed from the country, removed from society, put in detention, deported to other countries? Are we great yet? You thought it was all about immigrants coming into this country, and that's the reason that you don't have the things that you want in the life that you want. So now that we're removing them, is your life better? Has your life been improved? And I don't just mean your perception, because you're happy that these people are being tackled to the ground, handcuffed, and removed from the country. I mean your actual life in tangible, measurable ways. Do you have more money? Do you have better medical care? Do you have a better quality of life? Do you have a better place to live? How many jobs that immigrants once held are now in the hands of Americans? Are groceries cheaper? Is gas cheaper? Has crime been reduced? Did the crime rate drop? How about farmers? Do they have a better quality of life now? Do they have better financial security? Are they in a better place to sell in the global marketplace? No? Huh. Maybe it was never about the immigrants to begin with.
You cannot be illegal on stolen land. Let's get one thing straight. The mass deportation that is happening in America right now was never about encouraging people to do it the legal way. And making America great again was never about making America great again. It was about making America white again. Making America segregated again. Putting in action that punishes Black and brown people for just being Black and brown. When the mass deportation started in this presidential term, natives were threatened. African American people were threatened. People that had their land stolen, and people that were brought here for the betterment of the European settlers here were targeted, were threatened to be targeted. So if this was ever about illegal immigration, why would all of the Black and brown community be targeted? Even Black and brown people who built this country and people who had this land ripped from them and their families. Because let's get one thing straight. Natives were here before anyone, before any white person was ever here. If America prioritized legal immigration, why is the only ones being targeted in this Hispanics and brown people? Why is that the case when there are 500,000 illegal European and Canadian immigrants in this country today? If we really cared about the job markets and we really cared about inflation, why are we just targeting a certain racial demographic, a certain non-white illegal immigrant, right? Because we can't be illegal on stolen land, so a legal immigrant. Whenever you see a video of someone arresting ICE, they are targeting brown people. They are not asking white people for their documentation, and they are not arresting white people on the streets. That is because the society of America, the government of America, has seen Black and brown people as less than human since the inception of America as we know it today. The fight was never to kick illegal Americans out. The fight was never to make America great again. The fight was to target people who are not white, to make America white again, and to kick non-white people out and make them feel unsafe and unwelcome in America. That's what it is. It's terror in the land of America, simply based on the basis of skin color.
Y'all, I still can't believe these people were able to do all of this in 9 months. When the market crashes, it's gonna be bad. Like, it's going to be probably the biggest crash of our lifetimes, right? And I'm 33. I'm still relatively young. So yeah, people that are like older than me, I know y'all have lived through like at least 3, right? But it's gonna be really bad because, like, if you look at the stock market and you study the stock market, whatever, the stock market is supposed to tell a story, but the story that it's telling is not one of the American people right now. And once it finally catches up to that, it's going to be devastating. And once this AI bubble pops, it's going to be tragic, because I'm actually happy people aren't being, I guess, sucked into like this AI nonsense and utilizing AI for every single thing, because it really makes you not have a brain. They don't want you to have a brain. They just want you to be like followers and just do as they say. But the fall is going to be hard. Like, it's going to be bad. And I knew it was going to be bad. I just didn't think this shit would happen this soon, y'all. Like, 9 fucking months. 9 months. And they're still adjusting the jobs reports and stuff like that. And it's just like, in October, do y'all know what it's gonna be insane. Insane. Because what, like, I can't even wrap my mind around it. That's how bad it's gonna be. And I told people in the beginning of the year, like, this is the year to, like, try to lock in and not spend frivolously, like, if you don't have to. And I'm not saying not to treat yourself or whatever, but I'm just saying, like, just be mindful of your spending and stuff. Y'all. Be mindful of your spending and stuff. Like, I know it's tough because it's just like YOLO, because everybody is stressed the fuck out. But just make sure you have enough money to feed yourself, right? For your basic necessities and yada, yada, yada. Because it's going to get rough. It's going to get rough. And people keep saying that, you know, we're not going to feel the impacts of this presidency during his term. Y'all, yes, we are. We're already feeling it. It's going to get worse. By the end of 2026, America is going to be so unrecognizable, it's not even funny. And that's why it is so important to pay attention to these midterm elections, because Democrats need to take over. If Democrats can take over, all of this madness will be stopped, right? But that has to happen. People literally need to vote blue. And it's just, I don't know. I think I'm ranting and raving right now, but it's going to get bad, y'all. It's going to get bad. And I don't know how else to fucking put it. Like, just be mindful. Don't stop living your life. I'm not telling you to do that. But just make sure you got some money to feed yourself. Because they even said fourth quarter prices on food is going up. Like, what the fuck? Everything's going up. Everything. Every fucking thing is going up. But yet, they just sent all that money to, what was it, Argentina? They still sending money to Israel. Like, what happened to Make America Great Again? What happened to America First? That's what they ran on. America is last right now, y'all. Fucking last.
Do you remember that time when Trump ran on Making America Great Again? You know, the whole red hat thing? Yeah, well, how's that going for us? Because from what I see, and I think what a lot of you see, is he's bailed out Argentina. Okay, and then what did they do? In response to us bailing them out, they went and did a deal with China for soybeans, totally screwing over American farmers. Oh, and then he did a deal with Qatar, accepting a big plane for his personal use. And in exchange for that, Qatar gets to build a military base that will house fighter jets and Qatari troops on American soil, which, by the way, we don't allow. Then he goes on state business over to the Middle East, and the only business that he actually conducts is getting a multi-billion-dollar contract for his own real estate interests. This is the guy that threatens to make Canada the 51st state and threatens to take over Greenland and wants to rename the Gulf of America. But none of this actually makes America great. Do you remember when he campaigned and he said he had concepts of a plan for affordable health care for Americans because he hates the Affordable Care Act, because it's Obamacare, because he's petty and fragile like that? Well, we are almost 1 year into his second term. And while he's busy building monuments to himself and ballrooms that we don't need and nobody asked for, and redoing the Rose Garden, again, nobody asked for, redecorating the White House in cheap gold, now building a 100-foot arch across from the Lincoln Memorial that is gaudy and hideous, and worrying about putting his face on the coin, and worrying about putting his face on Mount Rushmore, and actively campaigning for the Nobel Peace Prize, and bragging about solving 8 wars that most of which nobody has heard of. we have heard hide nor hair about how that concept of a plan is actually turned into a plan. So while the government is shut down and Republicans have absconded from Congress, gone on vacation and locked the doors so that they don't actually have to pass a bill that could secure affordable health care for their constituents who voted for them, again, we've not heard a word from our president on how he intends to change his concept of a plan into an actual plan, because he doesn't give a fuck about us. He's worried about having his name on a coin and his face on Mount Rushmore and building monuments to himself and terrorizing basically anybody who doesn't look and act and think like him. He's going out and getting revenge on anybody that tried to hold him accountable after his last administration. How does that make America great again? He's removing us from agreements with all of our allies, taking us out of the Paris Accord, taking us out of the WHO, taking us out. How does any of this make us great? It makes us vulnerable. Putting a Qatari fucking military base with fighter jets and troops on American soil? What the actual fuck are you doing, America? What are you doing? How is this okay? Where is the red line for Red MAGA? Where is your line? At what point do you stop drinking the Kool-Aid? This is insane. None of this makes us great again. None of it. It just makes us embarrassing again. It makes us the laughing stock of the planet again. Because the rest of the planet is going, you didn't learn your lesson the first time? All of this, all of it, everything that he's working on is all about Trump. Making deals for Trump. We're in the middle of a shutdown. And he is promoting a $600 Trump timed watch? Oh, but if you want to spoil your lady, there's a $3,000 First Lady edition. We're in the middle of an economic crisis and in the middle of a government shutdown, and he's hawking watches? He is in the advertisement. He's in the commercial selling watches. Because gold sneakers and gold Bibles wasn't enough. Oh, and meme coins and NFTs. Every time he takes a trip overseas, taxpayers are paying for it, and 9 times out of 10, he is staying at his own golf clubs and his own resorts, and taxpayers are paying millions and millions and millions of dollars in expenses for that, for his Secret Service and his entourage and him. He is making billions of dollars off of this presidency. Billions. He's not making America great again. He's making Trump wealthy again. Because we all know he was so fucking broke before he won election that he could pay the lawsuit damages. So he was looking everywhere for somebody to bail him out. Well, MAGA voters bailed him out. They put him back in the White House, and all of those things went away. And now he's a multi-billionaire, legitimately, probably for the first time in his life. Thanks, MAGA. We're not great again. Yeah, we're just dystopian.
Fuck, so massive news just dropped. I need to tell you an extremely important story, so listen close. Here it is. First and foremost, my credibility is I am a right-wing independent creator, and I have been to protests this year that are left-leaning, and it has been a very peaceful, very patriotic, very overall pleasant experience. And this current executive branch administration is now labeling Antifa as a terrorist organization. But it is strange because Antifa is not an actual organization. It's more of an ideology. And this is being done intentionally for 2 reasons. I need you to listen very clearly to this next part. 2 reasons why this is being done. 1, this administration is trying to intentionally cause civil unrest. Okay? They are trying to manufacture civil unrest. Now, why? they are doing that is because they want to normalize, putting military on American streets. Okay? We've seen it in DC, now Chicago and Portland. When you have this big civil unrest, it gives the executive branch exactly what they want, because then they can invoke the Insurrection Act and say, oh, well, we had to do it because of this civil unrest, which, by the way, is what they're claiming now is a complete bullshit lie, because the civil unrest is just really non-existent. Really is. I've been out on the streets. I've been interviewing people. I've been to these protests. You're allowed to have that right in our Constitution. But our executive branch doesn't seem to think so. And so I'm letting you know to not play into their hand, okay? Which is why you need to share this with as many people as possible. Sorry, I just stuttered out there. At least you know I'm authentic and real. I have a little bit of a stutter sometimes. You know that this is what they're trying to do. So now we can combat it by raising concerns, organizing through sharing the message peacefully, right? As long as we all stay peaceful, they're not going to be able to do shit. They are banking on the fact that their propaganda will be successful in creating civil unrest. And I'm telling you not to fall for it. As always, follow, share, like for more, and comment.